United States presidential election between Joe Biden and Donald Trump is due to take place on the 3rd of November. Elections in the US don't work quite the same as those in the UK. Instead, they use a system called the Electoral College. It's a bit confusing, so here's a student-oriented explainer without any of the messy political stuff.
This is the poll average in Iowa right now. Biden 47, Trump 47, a tie.
When we talk about an electoral college, we don't mean a school or university. The Electoral College is simply a system the United States uses to elect its president. In the US, states are allocated a number of electoral college votes, roughly proportional to their population. That means California, as the most populous state, gets 55 votes, while Little Wyoming gets only 3. I say roughly proportional because every state gets 3 votes before the rest are distributed. This system was enshrined in the Constitution to protect the small states from the big states. Without this boost, presidential candidates would spend all their time in the states with the biggest electoral prizes and ignore the little ones. It's also partially responsible for how Donald Trump was able to beat Hillary Clinton to the White House in 2016, despite getting fewer votes overall. Whichever candidate gets the most votes in a state wins all of that state's electoral votes. They don't need a majority, just more than any other candidate. But how many electoral votes does a party need to win? Well, there are 538 electoral votes in total. Why 538? Because that's the number of senators, 100, plus the number of representatives, 435, plus 3 votes for DC. Out of these 538 votes, a party simply needs more than half to win the keys to the White House, the magic number 270. However, most states in the US lean heavily towards one party or the other, so the focus is usually on half a dozen swing states that could go either way. Currently, the Democratic nominee Joe Biden is leading in the polls. He supports a national test and trace program to tackle coronavirus, as well as increased minimum wage and investment in green energy. President Trump, on the other hand, has pushed for bringing jobs and manufacturing back to the US. He also wants to curb immigration and lower drug prices. So what about Congress? That's right, not all of the attention will be on the presidential race this year. Voters will also be electing new members of Congress when they fill in their ballots. The Democrats already control the House of Representatives, somewhat similar to the UK's House of Commons. They'll be looking to keep control there while gaining a foothold in the Senate, made up of 2 senators from each of the 50 states. All 435 seats in the House are up for election this year, while 35 Senate seats are in contention. I personally recommend sites like 538 and 270 to win to view more in-depth polling data and play around with electoral maps. But you can also check out the Liverpool Guild student media website for even more coverage of the election.